We are back. And we are going to get some shit done today. First things first, I'm going to see if we can get these wires done. It is what we need, right? Long distance EV. We need 16x. Yeah, that's what we need. That. All of those. So what are you working on today?
Not sure. What do you mean code? I'm not talking about in game or in code.
Whichever. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Well, one thing I added so far is the secondary input hatch.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 more of these. There. Fill that garbage in.
Is there anything you need me to craft?
You can start on crafting the stuff for the large centrifuge.
Okay.
Probably have to throw some tungsten steel in to cook, though, because it takes a ton.
Shouldn't a large centrifuge say input hatch or input bus?
It should
Mental
take.
tip.
Yeah, it should have. Well, do we have fluids that can be centrifuged? It needs to have output item and bus, or could have both outputs. I don't know if the centrifuge has a fluid for inputting. You'd have to look and see. I know
Yeah, it
Greg did a
does.
bunch.
Like, there's water, for example.
That's electrolyzer.
No, like
What
the
do you mean?
centrifuge water to get, or heavy water. Centrifuge water.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
There's
So, yeah.
also, I think there's lava too.
Oh, yeah, there is that too. So, yeah, there should be input and output bus and hatch. How many did I say I needed? Completely fucking forgot.
And there's also refinery gas. Reason.
$20, that's what it was.
And there's uranium hexafluoride in there.
Okay.
See?
$37 more aluminum. 38 copper. Going ahead and throwing a batch of tungsten steel in so it can get started. I thought you fixed this a long time ago when you got more than one thing to input into the barrel and it doesn't take all of it because the filter empties. Like this here. Put this in your inventory, one of it in your hand. And now come over here and right click and continue right clicking on that so it'll put both. Oh, it's not. That one's not automatically outputting. It was the iron that did it to me. Give me a sec. It's this one over here.
Probably because it probably outputs too quickly.
Yeah. Which is really annoying. There. Try putting those two in that upper barrel. When you go to put the first one in, it doesn't put the second one in. Oh. Maybe I'm doing something stupid.
That would be nice.
Hmm.
Somebody turn copper wires into needle copper wires.
Hmm. Take it you need some annealed copper wires.
Mm-hmm. Need a ton.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. That's going to get in the way and take forever. So this is going to end up getting backed up and unable to output. There just isn't enough redstone. Or the centrifuge is not fast enough to keep up.
Good thing I'm making a large centrifuge then.
Yep, that's the idea. That's what gave me the idea to go ahead and get it made so we can test it out. You know, you don't have a recycling recipe for these long distance cables.
Well, I guess I need to add one then. There's probably a lot of stuff that's missing recycling recipes.
Yeah, I'm figuring. That should be the end of the EV cables now. Didn't hear anything explode. Which is always a good thing. There isn't any power in it, though. Which means I probably have... Structure is invalid. Okay, that's the wrong one. I need that one. Structure is formed. Okay. Structure is formed, but it has no power.
Is it facing the right direction?
I don't know. I can never remember what way they go, dude. If I remember correctly, the endpoints have to be pointing towards the way the power needs to travel. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I do remember. And that is how I have it set. But this endpoint says it has no power in it. Why does this endpoint say it has no power in it? It's coming from our main. It's what's powering all of this stuff. But that says it has no power.
Can you break the cable for a second? I want to see the texture.
If you hold your wrench over it, you can see that's the direction that's the facing. So that should be the way it's going.
Okay. Yeah, let me try reversing it and see what happens.
Try going the other way.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's not valid because both ends are backward, or one end is backwards. So let me run up there and switch the other one. Okay, now I switched it the other way up here, and it says structure invalid, and it's not validating.
It's formed now. I have to click the other end.
Oh, okay. It still says 0. Wait a minute, the endpoint says 0, but the transformers say they have power.
It doesn't actually have power. It's just like a.
Okay.
It's like a wire, basically.
So it has to go back towards where The facing that looks like it's outputting power needs to go towards the direction of power, but the actual facing with the wrench has to be backwards.
I should probably fix that then.
Yes, you probably should. It confuses me enough as it is. Okay, so now we got to work on the long distance pipes. Get those finished up. I believe those are coming in down here. Did we even get them down here yet? I don't think we got them down this far yet. Because if I remember correctly, this needed like fuck tons of stainless steel. Yeah, seems like we got it to here. So we got a lot more to go.
Okay, now I gotta figure out how many casings for the arch-interfuge.
It's a 3x3 or a 3x2, and a 3x3x3 or a 3x3x2.
It's a 3x3x2. It says 14 at most, but I'm not sure how many hatches you're gonna do. So.
Well, the way I always do that is like this. Energy, input, input, output, output. That should be the hatches we need. We need an input and an output fluid, input and output item, and energy. Technically, for this one, because we're using it for the ore processing line, the two fluid ones aren't needed. But just to check the structure, we'll do all four, since that's the max you can put on it. So then the rest of that needs to be casings, which is 9, 10, 11, 12, which is not 14 at most, but if you took out these two, that would be 14. So it's correct, because you have to have at least one item or fluid input and one item fluid, one input, one output, whether it be fluid or item. So you could take out one of each of these, and then that would be 14 casings. And we need normal stainless steel pipes. Yeah, I should run this up here. Okay. $22 plus 5, 27. $50 will get me to here. So I need at least 50 more of these. Oh, you dirty bitch. I am not changing that pipe. That pipe is full of lubricant and I'm not moving it. How's it going tonight? GT6 hoppers just got added last week. Yes, I'm alright now that the cold snap is over and temperatures going back to normal. We'll be back up in the 40s and 60s the end of this week, beginning of next week. Yeah, that's gotta suck.
Good thing you don't live up north like I do.
Yeah, no shit. You'd realize the bitch was off real quick. Up there.
Well, I think the temperature we had like 10 in the morning yesterday was like -2 degrees or something.
I'm used to that. I delivered newspapers in -20. A couple of years ago, it was really fucking cold. That's the coldest I've ever dealt with. Well, I say a couple of years ago. It's been probably 10. My time isn't normal like most people's. I no fucking clue. About 10 years ago, I'd say, and I can handle cold, or at least I could back then. I was still running around in shorts and a t-shirt most winters. And it didn't bother me. I've had people flip out because they see me walking around with like 2 or 3 inches of snow on the ground, still wearing sandals. Wasn't any big deal to me. But once it hits 0, you start feeling that cold. And when it gets -20, you get every bit of your body covered because you start feeling warm, and you know that's not good. Appalachian Trail is gorgeous country. Okay, we need another wood pipe because somebody still hasn't gotten us a fucking overflow valve yet. Can you have that on your list?
Oh, you mean the gas vent?
Yeah,
it's on my list. That's been a priority.
Yeah. I can just do this. It's fine. Let's see. Corey. Fuck off. I know what you mean. 34 and rainy sucks. I don't know about -10. I'm not a big fan of the negative numbers. But yeah, just above freezing and rain. Ugh. That is horrid. Yeah, that's part of the reason why we came down here. Other than the fact that I've always wanted to live down here because it's fucking beautiful down here. But also because my asthma, I can't take the fucking cold air. I can deal with the hot and humid more than I can deal with the cold air.
Should make an MV output bus, so it has more slots.
Yeah. Definitely a good idea. Motherfucker. Okay. Alright, so that's where it's at. We need to go from there to there. Over one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 17. And then this would be 10. 9. 8. Did I say 17 for that? I think it's 17 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I need about 24 of them. That's really getting annoying. Probably can turn that off now. I'm going to end up voiding that entire tank, and we're not going to have any left. Because I didn't bother to put it in the right place. I just stuck it on the output pipe. It's still not empty, though. It's not even emptying. It's still full. That's one thing we've never really got was a good use for chlorine. Because you don't need to disinfect anything. But there's really no good use for chlorine in GregTech. For the most part. Other than, you know, hydrochloric acid.
Maybe you should find these. Yeah, no.
Well, the issue with that is then you run into the issue that I had with GT++ was, you know, he started adding pipes just because he had excess crap in his base. That's where the whole cobalt pipe thing came from. Was he looked in his AE system and he had tons of cobalt and no use for it. So he just made fucking cobalt pipes and item pipes. And I was like, dude, that's not how item pipes work. Item pipes are made out of rarer and harder to get stuff, not shit you just have laying around your fucking base because you want to get rid of it. He also added wrought iron item pipes.
Yeah, I know.
That's not how this works.
Yeah, and then Russ went and copied him and had to remove that.
Isn't what recipe supposed to be cheaper? No, GT++ isn't older than GT5U. Long distance fluid pipes. No, long distance fluid pipes is... This is the recipe straight from GT6. That's the long distance item pipe. That's the long distance fluid pipe. They're meant to be expensive as fuck. What's supposed to be possible, that's not possible in here, is putting them through the nether portal, which we can't do in here, unfortunately. I'm hoping he's going to change it. if GT5 technically did not have long distance item pipes, GT5U close to the end added them from GT6. Those were added originally by Greg in GT6 and ported into GT5. If they made them give you 16, well, they're idiots. Though they might have decided to give you 16 because of the fact that you can't do the mini portal thing that we can do over here and make them 8 blocks cheaper by running them through the nether. So that may be why they did that. But no, they were meant to be expensive as fuck, and each recipe gave you 1. Do GT6 pipes have more functionality? You mean regular pipes or these long distance pipes? Oh, I already answered it? Okay. Other than the nether portal thing, these things are identical to GT6 ones. Everything is just a stupid road, basically. All the pipes. Now, the one big question that we're not going to answer with this, I will probably answer that later on if Trins hasn't already figured that out, is you're not supposed to have the entire length of the pipe loaded. You're supposed to only have the 2 endpoints loaded, and because they're a multi-block structure, it teleports the things from one end to the other, and nothing in the middle needs to be loaded. And I'm pretty sure that's right in here, but I'm not positive.
I'm not sure either. I haven't really tested that part.
And as much as I hate creative testing, that might be something we have to do in creative, because I'm not making a pipe long enough without being able to do nether portaling in for it. Just for testing it. Alright, so we have this end done. Now, gotta make sure that the... Can you tell which end this is? Which way this is? I'm just gonna do it backwards, since the power one was backwards. I'm gonna do...
Currently it's set to the facing as the input. Think of it that way right now. The facing is the input.
Okay. So then let me go up here and change this one around. And I've got my pipes on me, so we can see if this thing actually finds any of that rutile that supposedly is up here somewhere. Okay.
Oh, that's large centrifuge is done.
Huh?
It's in the large centrifuge is done.
Oh, okay. Alright, I'm either retarded... Shut up. This thing is not building. I have the facing back towards the pipe here.
I may not have a brain, gentlemen, but I have an idea.
Yeah,
Shut up.
keep reading it. It fix it. You have to click the other end.
I clicked both ends.
You have to fix it.
Did you get it to build?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hit the output on that machine? All right, we got drilling fluid. Thank you. Put those in there. And she starts. She's slow as fuck.
I use GT5 here to get the progress for mining.
Okay.
GT New Horizons.
Well,
Apparently, which is actually GT5 actually seems even slower than GT New Horizons with that.
I don't remember it being this slow to get the dirt out of the way. Ores left at Y level 84.4. Dude. Hold up. Come here. Look for this. Go face to my ass. Why am I duplicating ore mining rig blocks?
That's
That's not good. That's no bueno.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Made 8 of them. I took the pipes out so it would stop. Is Ad Astra on 118? I don't remember. I believe so.
Not Unforged.
Not Unforged?
No, it's 119.
Oh,
yeah, they
okay.
did it on Fabric first.
All right, well, you look at the code and try to figure this out. You want to go back inside so I ain't got to stand out here and protect you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just take these and find somewhere safe to put them away. Does 118 have a space mod? I have no idea.
There's Beyond Earth.
This looks like a good safe place to put ore mining rigs. We'll just put them there for safekeeping. They'll be safe in there, right? The Enderman will take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
That was Greg's answer to me when I was talking about voiding chlorine or something to him. He's like, you're not voiding it. You're sending it to the Enderman. Maybe they like chlorine. Have you ever thought of that? They don't like water. Maybe they like chlorine. Greg, I'm pretty sure they're not a fan of chlorine if they're not a fan of water.
Yeah, I forgot what I did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out I was getting the drops from the controller position instead of where I was supposed to be mining from.
Oops.
It still breaks the block where the ore was, so you might have lost a couple ores.
Yeah, but it's ores at level 84. They're probably small ores that I really didn't care about, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's just put this... Where do we want to put this? Because I can't really put it here, which is kind of where it's set up to be. I'm thinking we might just put it here. It is going to stick out a little bit further than everything else, but it should be fine. Excuse me. That doesn't work. Did you read your own tooltip? HV plus? I can't use that.
That doesn't say HP plus. What are you talking about?
I thought all of them were HV plus.
This isn't.
Oh, this one doesn't say that. Still needs to be bigger than LV for a multi-block. Should be HV. Right?
I was wondering if it should be some higher tier or something.
It should definitely be a higher tier. Because if you're doing this like Greg's, it should automatically have one overclock penalty. So it shouldn't be able to run on anything less than MV. And then every overclock penalty above that is free. Is how Greg does it in GT6. Now, I know that's not how it is with like the blast furnace from GT5. Because I believe that still has an overclock penalty if we were to overclock the input hatch for the energy hatch. But that was a way that Greg made multi-blocks more I don't know what the word is I'm trying to think of. To give you a reason to put them to pay for the expense of the multi-block is the fact that it only has a one-time overclock charge. So all the tungsten steel that we put into making this big bitch is paying for it being robust enough that it doesn't get overclocked every fucking time you upgrade it. Or the more power you give it. I think we may have an MV one down there. So let's try it with MV and see how she runs. And then you can look at the code in GT5 5U or New Horizons and GT6 and decide on exactly how you want to do it. Yeah, there's an energy hatch right here. I'll use this one. I never once made an LCR. Would a fusion reactor work as a trash can? No, fusion reactors have set recipes.
What is an LCR?
Large chemical reactor.
Okay. By the way, currently, look at the code in GT5 are these parallel multi-blocks just use 2 times the power, but there's no overclocking.
Yeah, Greg got a little more interesting with GT6. A little more forgiving, I guess. Alright, so that's going to be the output bus. We'll have the input bus over here. And then we'll put just put these over here because they're not going to be used. They were literally just here to make sure that the damn thing formed with all 4. If we make another one of these, which we probably will, I'll probably harvest them out of there. Oh, you actually made me the 2 extra blocks anyways.
Yeah, you don't need those.
Good. Alright, there we go. I don't even need the fucking things. New Horizons has warped my fragile little mind. Are you in Greg's Discord, Perkius? Because you really should read some of the shit fucking Overmind said about New Horizons the other day. It's quite funny, his take on what New Horizons is. I also find it very weird that he has his 4-year-old playing it.
It is weird.
Isn't it?
Aren't they a little young for video games?
Yeah. My son played some video games, not at 4, but he played like some computer games and shit when he was like 8 or so. But not very much.
Yeah, but that's not 4. It's like, that's
Yeah.
closer to like 10, you know?
Yeah. Alright, she's got power. And she works. Holy crap, does she work? Oh yeah. She work 'em good. Alright, now we just need to get this re-piped here. So let me go grab my stuff. Well, we're going to find out just how much fun it is as soon as Crazy's life becomes a little more stable. Yeah, we'll go with stable. It's the best way I can put it currently.
It's probably not till like March.
Lawn bases should never be a thing ever. I don't care what mod you're playing. You're building machines. Build a fucking building to put them in. I never once understood people that want to build a factory out on their fucking front lawn. And that's from a hillbilly that, you know, uses his old living room furniture as lawn furniture. Okay. So this pipe here, you just need to run to here. And we do that. And that's not what I said you were supposed to be. Holy shit. Oops. I did an oops. Forgot to put the shit in first. Does it need doors, though? Did you see our front door? That's our front door. So no, it doesn't need a door. And if it can see the sun and there's no glass above your head, that's a lawn base. Exit stage left. Yeah. I can agree with that. Okay, so this is what goes through all of these. So this is the output. So that's in the perfect place. Well, technically I should just move this to fucking here, and then it would be perfect. Motherfucker, stop hitting that button. Where's the rest of my pipes? I'm fucking retarded. Never mind. Shut up. That's not supposed to be funny. Walls just get in the way. Yeah, but you can't have fucking creepers coming in while you're trying to do things. By the way, this is pre-telling of something that's not going to happen for like 2 or 3 weeks. But there's a special video coming on the Patreon channel. Junior and I decided to pimp Tamra's house today. If any of you watch the Industrial Village, you'll know that her house is not a house. It's like a house facade. I had Junior come on and rebuild her house into a proper house today. The video will be out on our Patreon channel in a couple weeks. We've actually got another one coming out this week or next week. I got to get it scheduled. But that's just us doing our rewiring work. And Junior should be coming back on there to help a bit with some other stuff soon. Because she's busy with trying to keep my dumbass organized, and I'm busy trying to make messes for her to organize. It's kind of the way that whole thing works. So it's just easier to have him come and do some of the pertification stuff. He likes building anyways. Alright, there we go. Got that fixed. So now I can get rid of that stupid pipe. And we can reconnect this one. Like that. And now this can work on all of this impure crap from mining. While that one works on the actual good shit. So now this can run again, which is beautiful. And we should have a bunch of... Yeah, we got a bunch of refines backed up that need to run through there. And all kinds of shit. Because it got backed all the fucking way up. I didn't do it.
Just mention that currently it's only using 4 EU a tick.
It's only using 4 EU a tick?
Yeah, it's 2 times the power of the recipe.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of what it should be, is if the recipe is, if it's overclocked, it should be doing 4 times not 2 times. But it's still going pretty fast with it doing the 16-time parallel. It's kicking a stack of that shit out of there real quick. So, I can't complain about the speed it's going. It's busting through that shit pretty quick. Well, we ended up getting our oxygen back here. I'm still not sure how the fuck we didn't have oxygen up here. But it's got its oxygen back now. So that's running again. This thing's going to be running like mad for quite a while. Yeah, this thing's done caught up and actually gets to turn off every now and then, so yeah. Should pretty good. Next thing we gotta do is work on getting a the thing. The thing we put these in. Because we're not going to add a thermal centrifuge multi-block, right? I always wanted Greg to add a thermal centrifuge multi-block to GT6. But I wanted it to have a heater underneath it. So you had to give it EU plus HU. But we don't technically have HU in here. We do, but we don't. Where GT6 does have. But I was thinking, take the bottom things off of the heat transfers off the bottom of the distillation tower, and build them underneath the centrifuge. Except for the very center block, which would be where the electric goes in, and then you have to put heaters all around it to heat the fucking thing. No, hard mode is not going to have crucibles. I'm about the only person that would want to have a fucking crucible. Most people hate the crucible in GT6. I know.
By the way, Bear, the structure is the processing array.
That's the next thing we need to get done. It's a processing array so we can do thermal centrifuges in it. Thank you. Fucking brain does not work.
That's going to require 4 energy cooled circuits and an electronic energy orb.
Oh yeah, that thing's going to be expensive as fuck. We're going to get a lot of other shit done that needs to get done around here before we start on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your next thing is to go build us a crystallization crucible, because we got to get the fucking Buell started. That was my favorite part of GT6, instantly blowing up my base. What was the post-fusion content again? The only post-fusion content that we have planned for this, which probably isn't going to, I'm almost guaranteeing it's not going to be a thing until the hard mode, is a ultimate battery charger. To see just how much power you can build up and see how quickly you can actually charge the ultimate battery charger that you shouldn't be able to charge. But it's going to take liquid nitrogen to keep it cool enough to not blow up. And the more power you put in it, the more liquid nitrogen you're going to have to pump through it. So you may end up having to have like multiple vacuum freezers to be able to circulate the liquid nitrogen quick enough. Alright, so that's 2 things done. Now we need to get this bitch done. Let's go back and get its hole dug. Alright, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that should be pretty good right there. Okay. And I think we'll just have the power lead into there, at least for right now. Maybe later on.
Do you have any
we'll
normal
get
bronze pipes?
We got bronze, but I don't think I carry bronze. No, I have small bronze pipes. We can recycle these small bronze because I don't use them anymore. And turn them in. Well, technically you don't need to turn them in. In the alloy smelter, there's a bunch of bronze. And I'll just recycle these because I don't need them. My inventory's full. That thing's still going to be going for a little while, so let's actually go ahead and throw that in there and go get 30 more steel. Is this thing all done? Yes. Apparently 28 more steel. I believe so, yes. I don't know a lot about fusion, so I can't say for certain, but I believe that's what it is. It's been 10 years away from 40 years. Yeah, that's kind of how that's been working. Why are you making copper nickel in there instead of in the multi-furnace?
Oh, forgot.
Kind of figured that was the reason. It was either that or because some asshole stole the tag out of it, but no, the tag's in the box, so it's not because of this asshole stealing the tag. I think the tag I have is for the... Ooh! Crystallization crystal. Yay! Alright, now we gotta hook this bitch up. And we need... We're making... we need an HV one of these too. If we're gonna make sapphire bules at some point. This is fine for the silicon bules, but we're gonna need HV for the other one. But we're also going to need a smelter. I know we have this one, but this one is for soldering alloys, so yeah. We're going to need a smelter made too. And then I'm going to have to deal with getting the helium into it. Which means I got to do some piping for that. I got to figure out where I'm going to put this bad boy. Oh, did you ever go look at GT5 at what the gas turbine put out for waste for some of the recipes?
No, I don't think I did.
Okay. One, two, three.
By the way, do you have any red alloy cables? I mean wires.
Checking that, I think it's a purple bag sitting there. All my pipes and wires is in there. Alright, there she is.
Smelter is done.
Okay. You want to start making the black bronze turbine blades? We need 24 of them.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any tungsten steel left in there, huh? We have some over here, though, right? Yeah, we got 43. I'll get the long rod started. Okay. So you're working on that. Hey, actually got enough naphtha used up, we could run that. Good. What time that started running
Say
again?
24 of them.
Yeah, we need 12 each. Okay, diesel, helium. So this right here is what we're going to be using. I need to get the piping done from this finally, because these pipes go literally nowhere. So we got to get them ran down through, and that means I'm going to need filters. We should have, yeah, that's glycerol. This is the helium. The other one's the argon. We don't have a use for neon in here other than amplifier or using it in a crystallization, because we don't have the crystal thing. So argon we will. Argon we have to have for osmiridium, right? No, we need helium for that. And we need helium if you're going to do what we were discussing. Helium's going to be the coolant for the fusion reactor. By the way, the fusion reactor in this is going to be a little bit different than GT5 and GT6. I've been doing a little bit of research on stuff, and
It's probably going to be closer to GT5 and GT6.
yeah. But it's not going to put out plasma. The plasma is contained inside of the fucking thing. It does not come out of the fucking thing. Okay, so we're going to use the argon and the neon. You don't put plasma in your pipes? No. No. That's not a thing. The amount of energy that you would need to run through that fucking pipe to keep that pipe from fucking melting down is ridiculous. But yeah, we were looking, and apparently helium is a really good coolant for fusion reactions. So, I suggested we have helium, the helium come out as a plasma, and then you have to run the plasma through a heat exchanger. But that was a stupid idea in the first place, because again, helium through pipes, bad idea. So he was originally thinking water and just have the reactor put out steam. But I think it'd be more interesting if it put out a hot coolant. And we were looking at it, and the coolant that, the industrial coolant that we use doesn't really doesn't hold enough heat units to transfer well. And helium's apparently a really good one. The only issue is they have their own gravity wells. Yeah, pretty much. So how do I want to do this? I don't think I left an open tank down here. Yeah, that's diesel, that's tar. That can be for the neon or the argon. That's for the helium. And then we got propane there. I guess this one's open. It wasn't supposed to be. There was supposed to be something in it. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, the glycerol's in there. What was this set at? Methyl acetate, which doesn't exist anymore. Well, I think it does, but it doesn't exist in this version. We got rid of it in this version. So I can use that tank for the other one. I was looking at it and I didn't do a whole lot of research into it, but there's different ways that they're looking at doing it. One of them was really interesting, which was instead of basically the neutrons coming off of the fusion reaction would, instead of, well, it would heat up the helium, but it would also positively charge the helium somehow. And they were talking about running that past a motor that would then force the motor to turn so they could output power directly from the fusion reaction itself, and that would be more efficient than just the heat transfer. I didn't read completely into it because it was late. Basically, from what I read of it, which was, very, very little, it was talking about, I guess, the way they do the heat is the neutrons bombard a lithium boron blanket, and that's what heats up and transfers the heat into the helium. Is the lithium boron blanket is what they call it, that is inside the reaction chamber surrounding basically the magnetic plasma ball thing. Because from what I understand, which this is a very elementary understanding, watching a few videos and reading a few things, is the reason they're able to do it is because most of the power that goes into the fusion reaction isn't to compress the elements and force them together. It's to contain the plasma so it doesn't melt everything down. It's literally a magnetic field that surrounds the plasma, and that's what holds the plasma together and makes it, it's maintaining the magnetic field. Some of it is used to compress the two elements and then force them together, but most of it is just the magnetic field that contains the plasma ball itself, and then the neutrons can fly free from that, and then they hit this blanket that's like surrounding the inside of the actual casing that contains the whole thing. And then that has a bunch of pipes running through it that have helium running through it that then gets heated up. But somehow they're talking about being able to charge the helium and run it past a motor to create power that would be more efficient than doing the heat transfer only. But I didn't look into exactly how that was supposed to work, because you would figure that the lithium boron blanket would, and the pipes themselves would block the charging of the helium inside the, or at least I figure that. I'm in no way a fucking fusion physicist person. Seems like it's at the limits of engineering. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Most likely they just heat a massive pool of water at the start. That's originally, well, I don't know if it was water, but it was some kind of cooling stuff. But probably water was what they started with. They just ran water through, and basically like a heat exchanger type thing. Thank you. Now this has to go into the one with soldering alloy. Yeah, I think it goes in this one. No, it doesn't go in that one. It goes in the MB one. This one. So we're going to need a bit of the argon or the... We got to set up the things. We need pipes. Normal stainless, small plastic. Okay. Yeah, which I'm pretty sure, don't we have... Yeah, we have boron in here. Not sure what we... From borosilicate glass is the only way I see to get it. Andradite gives boron directly. Alright, so... That would actually give us a reason to actually process the andradite. I don't know if we're going to do it for this one or for the harder settings, but I might do a little bit more research into the lithium boron that they use for that, and maybe we'll change the actual structure. At least a recipe for the stuff to have lithium boron inside the inside there. Might be interesting. Where do I want to have this? Yeah, we've got room to come across there. We can go across the back of these. Right now, the biggest thing is just trying to get this thing over the finish line, basically getting it done for this version. So, and doing that research is going to take me a bit of time, and is probably a lot more time than what it would actually take to code the fucking thing. Would be us trying to research exactly how the hell to change those recipes and shit, and how they do this crap. So, probably wait until the 1.19 version for that change. Plus, I want to keep this as close to GT5U as possible without it being too, well, stupid. Because there was a lot of things in GT5U that was a little weird. How far back here do I gotta go? It looks like we're almost there. Alright, so we'll just come out right across here. We could, since I have to go down to this level anyways, I think I'll just run it across the back of there. Actually, so just run this right across here. Oh, I didn't either, dude. That's literally why we're here. Because I'm pretty sure Trins got tired of hearing me say that GTI would get finished, which I can now go back to saying it, damn it. The GTI would be finished when Minecraft 2.0 and Greg's fucking game got finished. I think he got tired of hearing me say that, and that's why he took over. So it'd actually get finished, and I'd stop saying that. But now it's not GTI anymore. So, it still isn't going to get finished until those two things happen, which is fucking never. I can't disagree with you there. He is a fucking machine, man. The amount of work he's put into this is remarkable. I couldn't
really
fucking
care
do it.
GTI, I don't really care anymore that GTI will never get finished because that's what this is now.
Yeah.
GTI was always a stupid name anyways.
Yes, it was. I won't disagree with that. Especially since there was no plans of actually doing the intergalactic part of it, let alone space part of it. I'm going, well, intergalactic is, never mind. I was thinking interstellar, not intergalactic. My brain fucked off there for a second. It's alright. It does that.
Well, I think the reason they named it that was because, they're trying to, I think he was trying to make it say that is the official approved continuation.
Yeah. Which there is no such thing, because as much as I may not like it, Greg is a better man than I when it comes to that shit. He doesn't care what happens with his stuff and what he has built and what people fucking do with it. I'd have done told off fucking half of them that have, in my opinion, sponged off his fucking name.
Like GTCEUM.
Yeah, at some point you are way too many fucking separations. It's like that, what is it they say about, like, 6 separations of, you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that's famous or whatever. When you get to that point, you're not really the original thing anymore, damn it. Just because somebody you know knows somebody else that knows somebody else that knows somebody else doesn't mean you know the motherfuckers. It's kind of like my mom's second husband is related to somebody who's related to a movie star. And he had this weird infatuation with this dude. And like every fucking movie that he ever fucking made, he got in trouble and they turned his fucking picture around that they had of him that somebody got him to sign. I don't know. It was fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, think of that. GTCEU Modern is a port of GTCU, which is a fork of GTCE, which is based off GT and New Horizons, which is based off GT5U, which is based off GT5.
Which is an extension of GT5. Yeah. It's gotten almost to 6 separations of at this point. It's fucking ridiculous. So one thing that I will say about, I can't remember the name of the project now, the one that redid GT2 originally and did a shit job of it at least for like 4 updates. Yes.
Reborn?
Yes. That one. I would at least give them credit. They put their own fucking name on it and lived and died off of their own bullshit. Yes, if you knew what the fuck you were doing, and yes, you could tell that it was IC2 and GregTech. But they didn't use their textures, they didn't use their names for even some of this shit. They didn't use either of their names as the project. They lived and died on their own bullshit. And trust me, there was a lot of bullshit.
Tech Report now is like the Fabric mod that nobody plays because nobody plays tech mods on Fabric. And its power system is basically just RF now.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
But their own power.
They got
Since it's
mad at
Fabric.
They got mad at me because I threw a fucking fit because they chased fucking releases and left the 1.7.10 version broken as fuck. And I was trying the 1.7.10 and the 1.12 version, if I remember correctly, were both left broken as fuck. And I chewed their asses about it. It's like, at least fucking, if you're gonna chase fucking Minecraft versions, fine, chase Minecraft versions. But at least leave your mod in a playable state. And this is not a playable fucking state. I think the one thing I can remember was you needed cells for everything, as was the case in GT2, but you couldn't reuse the cells when they were empty. The empty version had a tag on it that couldn't be refilled. And they didn't have, you had to literally recycle every cell after it was used by macerating it, remaking it, and then putting it back into the system. It's like, this is broken as fuck. And they're like, yeah, we'll fix it in the next version. No, jackass. Fix it in this version and every version between your current version, which is like 1.16 at that point. Fix it backwards. You jackasses left it like this. Fucking fix it. Stop chasing that shit. What was the GT New Horizons competitor? Yes, GT Mega. Apparently, some dude named Houston got his feelings hurt by New Horizons. I don't know what the fuck happened, but he has got a hard-on for hating those motherfuckers. You can tell if you go into in Greg's Discord, because he lets it known just how much he hates fucking New Horizons. So he ported New Horizons and then decided to change a bunch of shit, apparently. Some things I can kind of agree with, some things I think is off the fucking wall.
There's one thing I saw, I can't remember, but it was certainly stupid. Was it circuits or something he was talking about? It seemed just really dumb.
Yeah, the circuit thing he was talking about was one of the things that I thought was really fucking stupid. Yeah, Dragon, other than our disagreement, which wasn't an argument, It was just, the two of us don't agree on magic. We didn't argue or fight over it or anything. It's just his plan for his pack is that it has fucking magic, and I didn't agree with it, which is why I never ended up doing testing for him, because I had originally planned on testing New Horizons when it first came out. And it never came to be because I didn't like the fucking magic shit, and he wouldn't make a version that didn't have to have magic in it. But yeah, I always got along with him just fine in the old IC2 forums and shit, but I don't know that he's still the one doing it, because somebody posted a thing the other day from somebody else that's supposedly the lead dev now that I think is a fucking crackpot. What don't you like about magic mods? I've heard you mention that a few times now. I have what most people would call a religious belief against magic. I don't know if I'd say that, but I don't believe that magic is something that I need to be dealing with. Whether it's fake in a video game, fake in real life, I don't really give a shit. I'm not dealing with it. And I think magic is the... I said this much more eloquently once. I don't think it's going to come out as eloquently this time. But basically, tech mods are about getting... I'm trying to think of how Greg put it. That GregTech was getting overpowered the hard way. Basically. And that's kind of what tech mods are to me, is you have to build up from nothing until eventually you have everything. And to me, magic mods is the antithesis of that, because magic mods are about making you feel more powerful and all powerful as quickly as possible. Like, one of the first things you do in most magic mods is fucking flying. Now, granted, IC2 was a bad one on that because of fucking jetpacks. That was like the first thing everybody did. But tech mods is about building within the natural bonds of reality, and magic is about breaking all those laws and just doing whatever you want. And I don't like that. I don't think the two mix together. If people like magic shit, fine. Enjoy your magic shit. It don't belong with tech. Yeah. You got me on that one. But technically... Sorry, go ahead, dude.
You can also say that about every tech mod that isn't GregTech or IC2.
Yeah, technically. Well, other than maybe, as much as it's a pain in the ass, Rotary Craft, Rotary Craft is kind of better at it than most of the rest of them. It's not against my religion. That's the thing. There's plenty of people that have the same similar types of religious beliefs that I do that still do fucking magic shit. To me, it's more a personal thing than it is a religious thing, or because of my religion that I don't. It's hard to explain. It is because of my religious beliefs that I don't do it, but I can't say it's against my religion to do it. It is against my religion to do witchcraft. But this is fantasy magic. This isn't witchcraft. Unless you're talking about witchery, which is basically a fictional version of witchcraft, which is one of the reasons why I hate fucking witchery, and I won't play a pack that has it in there. Similar with blood magic. I won't play with that garbage in a fucking pack. Because to me, that is demonic as all fuck. And to me, it's more of a slippery slope. You let a little bit of that fucking shit into you, and it just kind of opens up more doors. And I don't want those fucking doors open, so I leave them shut. I mean, you literally summon demons, and yeah, exactly. That shit is demonic as fuck. I want nothing to do with it. He was going around streams when 2.7 launched. Okay, well, I think somebody else is leading the project now. He was really excited to hear people's opinion on the new early game changes. So even if he's less involved, he's still invested in the project. Well, that's good to hear that he's still invested in it. Greg said that, and then about the Bumbles thing. You do have to give Greg credit, though. Because for the most part, they don't give all the things that most B mods do. Their main thing is honey. There is the weird nether ones, but that's nether. Kind of forgive that. And you really have to work to get the ones that give you anything even somewhat useful that isn't honey for the overworld ones. Like the ones that give latex and sticky resin. You got to work your ass off for that. I don't disagree with you. Forestry bees is interesting if that's... I've done it many times. I enjoy it. Of horror movies, I love horror movies. I used to love horror movies. I don't watch them as much now as what I used to, but fucking slasher movies and shit, fucking love them. I don't get off on the more like ghost movies and shit, because I don't believe in fucking ghosts. So it's hard for me to get into that kind of shit as much. But like, Junior had us watch, I think it's called Annabelle, about a demon-possessed doll. That shit fucking, I like that shit. That shit was interesting. It's the nicest way I've ever heard you describe, and I quote, sissy emo bullshit before. Yeah. That's fucking what I feel fucking, blood magic is. Fucking sissy ass fucking emo bullshit. I'm gonna cut myself. Fuck off, faggot. Grow a fucking pair. See, when you're a big bad motherfucker like me, you don't need a demon to do your bidding. If I can't handle it, I just call Junior. He's the biggest demon I need.
You got knocked the fuck out!
Ricky's mods are cool. I agree. They have some issues, but I like them. I've played a few mod packs now, and they have this mod called AE2. I always hate it because they make me build it right at the end. So I build it and then don't get to use the damn thing because the game is finished. I like AE2. We have AE2 in here. This right here is AE2. We just don't use it the way AE2 is intended to be used. Because we don't use the auto crafting of it. And we literally only have 2 drives. And one of them is completely empty. We ain't even got all the types. Why is there sand in there? There's not supposed to be sand in there. Our AE2 is literally a monitoring system. The only thing that you can do with it, besides monitoring what we have in those barrels right there, is you can store a little bit of stuff, and that's it. And pull the stuff from the barrels upstairs. But we keep this pretty well empty. This sand's not supposed to be in here. Get this fuck out of here. Sand goes in storage. Now, if it wasn't for me, I'm sure he would have a lot more stuff for the AE system than what I do. But I don't like... Every pack seems like it's an AE2 pack that you do other stuff with AE2. Let's see if I missed anything else. Why don't they make you build that somewhere in the middle? Why don't they, I'm guessing, make you build that somewhere in the middle? I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about.
He's asking why they don't make you use 82 in the middle of the pack instead of the end.
A2 doesn't make you make anything. It's kind of like most tech mods. You start small and you build up. All depends on what you're wanting it to do and how you want to use it. Depends on what you have to do. If you're not auto crafting, you don't need millions of CPUs. The CPUs are only for the channels. And if you're not doing auto crafting, you don't need as many channels. If you're not using it for all of your piping stuff and all of your, input and output sending stuff from one machine to another, you don't need all that crap. And if you're playing a decent mod, you don't need it for auto crafting, because if you're playing a decent mod, it has, like this one, most of our stuff that gets crafted in assemblers, and I'm hoping eventually we'll have a multi-block assembler similar to the normal multi-block assembler from GT5U, but will be for a more early game assembler where you can write recipes in these tables, have this slot that's supposed to be right here for blueprints. I think it was actually above here. I think these go down here. But there should be a blueprint slot in here where you can write a blueprint from the crafting table, and then you'd put that into the controller, and then the inputs would be for the assembling for all of the ingredients, and you can build multiple of these and do whatever crafting you want. But that, again, might be a thing that happens in 1.19, not in 1.18. And maybe I can talk him into porting it back to 1.18. But we really need to get this shit out the door. So ideas like that might wait until 1.19. Compared to modern Minecraft's renewable resources mods, it's amazing. I agree with you on the bees thing for renewable resources. I'm not big on renewable resources, but that's because I'm a mining person. That's the one. When I don't know if anybody knows this, because I've probably said it a million times and forgot. But when Junior first got me into playing this game, because Junior's fault I play Minecraft, because he asked me originally, and by the way, we're going into a long drawn out story, so sit back, shut up, and relax. When he originally talked about the game and wanting to play it, and wanted me to try it with him, I was like, dude, why would I want to play a game with a bunch of blocks? And he still brings this up to me every now and then. He'll be, what are you doing sitting here playing a game of blocks? Shut up, Junior, you're an asshole. But I didn't know why he was so interested in it. And then he showed me, he was watching a video on YouTube, and I don't let Junior watch anything. He's 25, 26 years old now. He watches whatever the fuck he wants. But when he was a kid, he didn't watch shit on YouTube unless I was watching it with him. Because I don't trust any fucking body else with what shit goes into my kid's head. And he wanted to watch somebody building a house. And turns out it was Vintage Beef in the Minecraft server. And it just happened that in the episode he was watching, he went over and visited with I can't remember his name, the Swedish dude. And he started... Who?
So maybe it was Escal 85.
No.
I don't know.
No, it was before Corrales was even a part of their thing. I think it starts with an A, but I don't remember. But anyways, he went over to his base, and he was showing him the GregTech stuff that he had, the blast furnace and centrifuges, because this was GT2. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. I like this. This isn't just building stupid fucking houses out of blocks. This is actually making machines and shit. And so, at the time, we had a really shit computer, and poor as fucking dirt. So we got a hacked version of we got a hacked, what was that launcher? I still technically have the actual legitimate version of it now. Technic launcher. We got the Technic launcher. But I couldn't find a version, a mod pack on it at the time that had GregTech. So we just played vanilla at the moment, and I kept trying to find one that had it, and I ended up playing one that had IC2 instead. So the first mod I actually played with was IC2, not with GregTech, and then I ended up learning more and found one and got into GregTech, and it never turned back. But because we had one computer and we had a hacked version, we couldn't play together. So we played separately together. He would play for an hour or so, and he would do all of his building stuff. And then he would drop all of his stuff off in a chest. And then I would log on after he went to bed, and I would get in my chest and get all of my stuff. And then I would go mining. And I would literally spend an hour or two just down turning lava into obsidian for him to build an obsidian wall with. Yes, basically that's what I did. And that's why I'm still the material acquisitions manager now. It's because that's what got me interested in it, was collecting all of the stuff that Junior needed for whatever weird project he wanted to build that day. That's a damn good reason to enjoy mining. Yep. I thought so. Make the kid happy, damn it.
Also, Parkers was really asking me about ME hatches. I'm kind of confused what those even for.
Some ME
Why would
hatches
we need
buses would be nice, though, Trends. The ME hatches is so... It's basically, from what I understand of it, is a hatch that has the input bus built right into it. So you don't have to build an input bus. So you can set it to pull directly from your ME system, and so you can deposit into your ME system, is what I understand of them. It's basically the same thing as you putting a bus onto an input or an output bus, and then setting it to what you want. But it's integrated right into the hatch, so you just have to hook up the wire.
Okay, let's like. I don't like get the plans. Like you can just put it and put plus on the block. And
I
it's the same amount of
agree.
space.
I agree. I don't. Well, technically, the bus does take up the block in front or beside or below, but yeah. There's more functionality than that. It's hard to explain till you use them. Well, I will be looking into doing New Horizons at some point, so I will check them out when I get to that point, and maybe it's something we'll look into for 119. It looks like that blast furnace running. We're actually going through most of this stuff pretty good. Butadiene is still good and full in there. This isn't running because we're full on ethylene, even though I've used a bunch of fucking plastic today. What are we at on butadiene? Ethylene is completely fuel. Benzene is low enough. Methane. Butadiene is at 333. And butadiene isn't used for shit but rubber, if I remember correctly. Synthetic rubber. Dude, why is there 2 butanols? Oh, there's butanol and butanel. There's 1 letter different. Huh. Do we even make this shit? No, that's another one that you missed that needs to be hidden is butanediol. And the butanol and the butanel. All 3 of those cannot be made. The butadiene comes from our steam-cracked naphtha. And it's a gaseous fuel that's being burned, and apparently we don't even have... yeah, right there. That one right there. Why is that? This. Is there no way to make this? Packager, macerator, pulverizer. Solidifier, liquid. Yeah, there's no way to make the styrene butadiene rubber, which is the only use of the... You think there's a raw one? Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's...
No way of making that either. And you can't do anything with the raw one. So you need to look into that too. But that's the only thing I know of that butadiene can be used for, is for synthetic rubber, and we don't go through enough rubber to need that. So I haven't bothered. And technically, synthetic rubber, from what I understand, should have to be mixed with regular rubber anyways. As I looked that up at one point, and like every rubber that you know of that you use is at least somewhat natural rubber, that the synthetic rubbers are mixed in with the raw rubber. You'll rage quit well before that. You're probably not wrong. But I have a strong ability to deal with stupidity. And the more people that watch me sit and rant and rave over it, the more it'll fuel me to go. The less people that watch, the easier it'll be for me to quit. So, you know, maybe the people that enjoy listening to me rant and rave and bitch, moan, and groan will watch and keep me going. We'll see. And as long as Crazy's enjoying it. Once Crazy stops enjoying it and gets pissed off at it, then it'll be like pulling teeth to get her to play, and then I won't want to do it anymore either. Yes, Crazy loves Pam's. Crazy and I have been through many a fight because I call Pam the worst modder I've ever seen. I've seen others since that have made her less a shit modder. But at the time, she was... I'm trying to remember the wrestling thing that somebody told Jim Cornette one time, that I used to think you were the biggest, like, fucking moron on this planet. But there's been so many other fucking morons come around, bigger and worse than you are, that you've moved up in my book by not doing a fucking thing. And that's kind of what I feel about Pam. I originally thought she was the world's worst modder, but there's been so much worse come along worse than her that she's moved up in my book, and she ain't gotten any fucking better. Just, they're fucking worse. This had to be before GTC. Yes. But that wasn't as much about his modding ability as him just being a fucking douchebag. Arch is the dumbest smart fuck I have ever met in my life. Weaponized autism is a hell of a drug. I wouldn't know. Autism didn't exist in my time. I've heard that. That's a new people's issue. I still go with the South Park way of looking at all of that ADD, ADHD, autism shit. Back in my day, you just get slapped in the back of the head and sit down, do your fucking work. Didn't matter what the fuck was wrong with you. Enough good slaps to the back of your fucking head, you eventually did the fucking work, or you quit. It was one of the two. Or you start drooling, yeah. And then they had a special class for you if you did that. They got out a half hour early. They got to school a half hour late because nobody trusted them with the rest of the fucking kids. And they had their own special bus. And locks on their belts. Yeah, pretty close. They probably don't have a place in GT5R anyways, since your recipes aren't obnoxiously expensive. That is true. Hopefully GT5R gets popular enough for someone to Horizonify it and make GT++++. Fuck you. No. Speaking of modders that are fucking worse than Pam, that's one of them. I still can't believe that he... Huh?
I don't think my mod's gonna get that popular enough because GTCU mod already exists. Why wouldn't anyone make something based on GT5 mod? Do what GTCU modern does.
Technically, because GT5R is better built by a better person with a better understanding because of somebody of how GregTech is supposed to be and not whatever the fuck that mess is. It is more popular because it's in all the mods 9 and 10, if I remember correctly. And it's going to be more popular until this actually gets released and out there. But you also have the problem of most of the people that think like me don't want to leave 1.7.10 anyways because fucking modern Minecraft sucks. Have you seen what they did to the fucking Nether? Yes, I'm still bitching about what they did to the fucking Nether. I hate it. That's not hell.
There's one thing I've been thinking of doing recently, which is I'm thinking of completely dropping all fabric stuff.
I voted on that. I agree with you. I wasn't going to vote until I seen other people were voting the same way I was going to. I don't like to vote for things when they are new voting because I don't want to sway other people's vote one way or another, whether they vote with me or against me. I don't want them to be swayed because of my vote. So I didn't vote on it until I seen there was like 13 other people that agreed with me that fabric side should end. Having Mesa mods? What do you mean Mesa mods? GT++ is a beautiful train wreck. You got the train wreck part right. Have you seen some of the fucking testing I did for GT++? Did he ever get the fucking tree farm to work? And not run in negative EU? Last I knew, he fucking stopped and completely commented out the fucking tree farm because he couldn't get it to stop going into the negatives for power. I need a fluid filter, by the way, and apparently I don't have any in my bag. I have item filters, but I don't have fluid filters.
Okay.
Even in New Horizons, 80% of the recipes have 0 uses. Yeah, well, we're trying to not have that problem. Anything that doesn't have a use needs to not exist at all or be hidden from the user. NEI, JEI, REI, EIEIO, whatever the fuck you're going with at this point, shouldn't have...
It's EMI now.
Yeah, I know. Fucking hell, people. Pick a fucking 3-letter combination and stick with it. But there's enough rabbit holes in GregTech style mods that you don't need rabbit holes that lead to fucking nothing. There should be at least a light at the end of the fucking tunnel. You don't need to look up fucking butadiene and end up with all of this crap and come to find out that you can't even make 6 of them. They need to be gone. And if you don't have a use for them, or you don't have a source for them, you know, kind of like chlorine. Chlorine has a source. It has a reason to exist. Even though it doesn't have a lot of uses, it has sources. It needs to have at least one of the two. Well, it needs to have both. But it also, you know, GT5U had an issue, and I can't begrudge the people that did it because I was one of them. But eventually I learned that realism isn't everything. Because the more you chase after realism, the stupider things get. Where you end up with so many fluids that have no fucking use, and so many items that have no fucking use, and so many steps between point A and point B that there isn't enough letters to fit in between there if you use the entire alphabet after B to jam between. It's something that I learned by doing GT6. Greg added a lot of complexity. He added a lot of cool chemical chains and reactions and stuff like that. But he didn't add useless steps. Kind of like the argument we were having the other day in Greg's Discord in the GT6 channel about the roaster putting out oxides instead of putting out pure metal. Yes, that is more realistic, that some of the oxygen that you're using is going to bond with the metal and not just bonding with the sulfur. But do you really need that extra step in there to go from chalcopyrite to copper and iron? Fuck's sakes, nitromethane doesn't even have a use. Really? I'm still not sure what the fuck carpet is. I have no idea what that is. That's somebody's name. They need a better name, because I can't even pronounce it. The lead dev of Mahjong. I have no idea. Well, he needs a better fucking name. Dinner Bell was easier. What the fuck happened to him? GT++ has 18-step chemical change just for the only use to be electrolyzing at the end. I don't fucking doubt that. Oh, you think that's his real name? Oh, okay. Well, his name sucks. Sorry. Fabric is dead for tech mods. Yeah. It's just a drain on... Yeah, I agree that having all those recipes with 0 uses a drain on load time. You want to really lose your shit, you should give Supersymmetry a try. I've heard about it, but it's built off of CEU, so that's not going to fucking happen. I won't play that crap. And CEU isn't as much the things they do as it is the people doing it not having a fucking backbone. Like, if I went to Greg and said, you know, something should be changed, and this is how I think it should be changed, Greg would straight up fucking tell me, Bear, you're an idiot, you're an asshole, shut the fuck up. And I'd go on with my fucking day. He wouldn't say, oh, well, that's a good idea, we'll look into it in 6 fucking years, not fucking do it. I don't appreciate fucking trying to show them all the things that should be done a different way and how they could do it to make it better and how it was done by Greg and all of that shit. And then them, you know, oh, well, we haven't gotten to it yet. Do I have to buy you a fucking round to it so you fucking get around to it? The fuck, man? It's been 6 fucking years. Get off your ass, fix the shit. It's fucking simple. And then they want to go and give me the same fucking bullshit that they gave me in GT5U when I brought it up to them that, well, we'll have to rebalance fucking the ores because there isn't enough fucking ores in the world to do it that way. Bullshit. Motherfucker. Don't give me that shit either. Fuck off. You ain't got to rebalance shit. They finally grew a pair and removed Create Compact from GTCEUM. I actually am planning on trying to get Trends to do me an add-on that makes Create compatible with the Steam age of GT5 when we get to 119, GT5R when we get to 119. Because I think some of the things that they have in Create are interesting, but not expensive enough. Create to me is in the same boat as Tinkers. It is a vanilla plus mod. And it's really hard to stick it in a pack with something as advanced as GT5R. But I want to see if we can do something with it that's interesting, but not game breaking. That was their plan, but it was poorly implemented, and it was only still in because so many people can't live without it. Well, see, my first thing is all of the andesite casing things are going to be gone. Andesite casings is going to be wrought iron casings. That's step 1. And a lot of the recipes are going to become way more fucking difficult. They're not just going to be wood and andesite alloy shaft. Your shafts are going to be made out of fucking wrought iron, steel, titanium, tungsten steel, something more substantial than rock and a little bit of zinc. I know you really hate CEU, but I really think you'd enjoy 120 TFG. What the fuck is Terra Firma Greg? I'm guessing. There's a guy that I know half-assed. That he's one of the reasons why I didn't do a lot of tutorials for GT5R when I started doing videos, other than like the build ones that I ended up doing. But I didn't really do tutorials at all because he had a tutorial series and I didn't want to take away from what he was doing. He started playing, I think, that pack. I'm actually looking right now to see if I had it in here the other day. He just put out the second episode of it. I was gonna show it to you. But he did GT6 too. We actually had a friendly challenge of smelting setups because he didn't like some of the things that we did for our smelter setups, and so then he did it, and then I kind of made fun of his as being way over engineered, and there it is. UNG. I always call him Ung, but it's Ungod is his name. Well, it was a friendly competition, so there was no real winner or loser. In my opinion, the person that won is the people that learned from our competition of building better automatic crucible setups. Because his was ridiculously over-engineered, in my opinion, and very inefficient. Mine was as efficient, almost as efficient as possible. There's actually one way to make it more efficient, but I didn't want to use quartz crucibles instead of ceramic, because the quartz crucibles have a lower density than ceramic, but they also have a little bit lower temperature, which means some of the things are not possible to be done or more dangerous because of their lower density and lower meltdown point. And so that was the only reason why I didn't switch to them. But I just gave you guys the link for, I think that's the second video he did. I haven't watched it yet, but he's a good guy. If you have a second, go check it out. And tell him not to be over-engineering a bunch of shit. It took me a minute to realize he was Yes, I know. He's got an accent and a fucking half, man. It took me a bit to. Eventually, you kind of get used to it. But yeah, it's a little rough. Okay, I've actually got to get something done. I have been running my fucking mouth and not gotten a damn thing done. You know what? I told you I needed one fluid filter. I need fucking two. Because I'm running this on a different fucking pipe. So I need one for the helium, the argon, and the fucking neon.
Okay.
I don't know why I told you I needed fucking one.
Fortunately, I made enough to make a couple filters.
I noticed you had a whole batch of fucking mesh there. Alright, so we'll let this one be argon. Alright, and we'll put that there. We open it up. Structure is formed. will fill. Argon must be heavier. Because fuck you. Actually, I know argon is heavier. Why the fuck did I do that? Argon is what you use in a fucking torch, you moron. You know it's fucking heavier than air. Because if you turn it on without the fucking oxygen, it fucking goes whoop. Like a fucking limp dick. Probably the only person to ever say that a welding torch is like a limp dick. But it is. You ever seen a cutting torch, not a welding torch? You ever seen a cutting torch that only has the argon turned on? It just flew. You give it that oxygen, though. That motherfucker stands right up like it got a shot of Viagra. Poor Trins' brain is going to be fucked up now. He ever sees a cutting torch, he's going to start thinking about dick. I'll be sitting here in my chair and hear Trins from across the country. Damn it, Bear, you asshole. I didn't do it. I'm sure I did, though.
There you go.
Thank you. You're a gentleman and a scholar. That. Motherfucker. Alright, that should take care of the helium. That shit'll get out of my damn way. And helium is definitely lighter, so why the fuck is it not going upwards? Trends. Helium doesn't go up, it goes down. No, wait a minute. It's not going in either. Just right fucking tank, right? Yeah. Oh,
You sure
never
you
mind.
set the idle out?
Never mind. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up, you. I didn't do it. I swore I had that fucker already on auto out. I don't know why the fuck it did that. Make me look
You
bad,
turned it
that's
off.
why. Why the fuck am I at the propane tank? Because propane's in the fucking way, that's why. Okay, that's done. This should already have... Yes, this goes... Hello? Oh, I turned it off because it wouldn't fucking fill because it is going that way. Motherfucker. Neon. Thank you. Okay. So now, neon goes here. I still don't know why we have to click that twice sometimes. It's still annoying. Okay, and now, bloomp. There. So now we have all of that running through there, which means we can turn that back on, which hasn't been on for fucking ever. I'm actually not sure why it's not on now. Did we disable this?
Might be disabled. Might be.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm going to give it to you with the oxygen turned all the way up. And she's still ain't impressed. Yeah, I seen a thing on fucking Twitter today that was fucking funny. This dude went in the kitchen. His wife was doing dishes, and he reached up under the edge of her shirt and no, it's not disabled. pulled out a pat of butter and threw it in the pan to cook with, and she started laughing, and then she reached down with a fork between his legs and pulled it up, and it had a little cocktail wiener on it. He didn't find that as funny as saying she was fat. I thought it was funny as shit, though. Okay, that's empty because it's being voided. That's empty because it's being voided. Some reason there's a frost-proof casing in the middle. I don't know why the fuck that's there. Are we missing a
Okay, so
fluid?
it has no air in it.
It has no air in it. Did we pop the vent
Yeah.
off?
No, the vent's still on there. It's not working for some reason.
Huh. I didn't even think about the fact that the air wasn't in there. Well, fix your shit.
I bet it might be because of the fact I made it only able to input from the facing, from
Oh,
the output facing. And I'm going to need to fix that. I should ignore that facing thing.
I also can't turn this, by the way. I can now. You can't put it on that facing, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's a cover there.
Yeah. So, yeah, you'll have to fix that. Alright, I think we've ran into enough stuff that needs to be fixed. Our tungsten steel is still cooking. I'll let the server run for a little bit for that. You need to look up the stuff for the output for the gas turbine so we know, so we have that and we can get it all hooked up. I'll set up the crystallization crucible probably next time after we get done with testing. Don't forget to fix the hoppers to actually give us something when we wrench them.
You already fixed it in dev, so.
Okay. And if I don't hear anything from Ned about the redstone work, we're probably going to set up a time next week. Like, by the way, Monday's terrible day for me to do testing. Probably not going to happen. Because we do stuff in the afternoon and I end up falling asleep. So, Tuesdays is going to be our testing day from here on out. Unless shit changes. So maybe like Wednesday or Thursday, we'll come on and do a whole new rewire of the redstone for this. You helping me, because you said you already figured out what I needed to do for this. I think I have figured it out too. I just haven't worked it out technically. I know that I need to put the thing on this side, not on the back side, like I was, like an idiot. But we'll redo that. We'll redo the wiring going over to this, so it's not dependent on if that one has it, and then we'll also hook this one up and set up when it's conditions for turning on and off. And we may even set up one for turning this thing on and off, because I'd love for this thing to run just whenever we have any room for fucking power, it to turn on, just to give us a little bit. And then, like I said, I want to work on getting a thorium uranium 238 bigger one made and actually get the heat exchanger out of mothballs and get it set up and get it tested. We also still need to make the multi-block electrolyzer so we can test it. I don't know exactly what I'm going to use it for because this thing keeps most of our electrolyzing stuff taken care of. I'm also need to get the chlorine piping fixed so I can void that fucking chlorine faster. I need to do something like what I did with the oxygen down here, where it comes off of the inlet pipe instead of the outlet pipe. And I really need to put a shutter on that, because as you see, we're completely fucking out of oxygen. I didn't realize we were completely out of fucking oxygen down here. So I need to get rid of this. So we'll fix both of these next week. Give them a proper redstone thing for if this is full, it'll open the pipe up to that and let it get rid of it. And we probably, since we have plenty of ender pearls now, should just make a fucking garbage can. Or we can literally just run them to the bottom of this one we have right here too. And instead of having to listen to that fucking noise, okay, maybe we're not going to run them to the bottom of that. There's already something going to the bottom of that. But we'll make another one. We'll put it down there and have it for the oxygen and the chlorine to go through. Maybe. How much power does a single block reactor make? The single block reactor depends on what you have in it. The one we have here running on thorium should be 64 EU a tick, if I remember correctly. Because I do believe it makes 64 heat units a tick. Which with perfect 100% efficiency would be 64 EU a tick. I think that's what it makes. I don't remember exactly. And I'd have to turn it on to check what the actual neutrons is coming out of it. But if you put like, we could make it put out more just by running a different kind of fuel rod. This is only thorium, so it's the lowest one. If we were running something like uranium or uranium-235, plutonium, you know, something like that, we could get a lot more. We could technically take out 2 of these rods and put in reflectors, or what the hell are the other ones? There's the other one that I didn't even think about. Somebody told me in absorbers. If we took out 2 of them and put in absorbers, we would probably get more, because it absorbs the neutrons and emits twice the heat per neutron to the coolant. Which if we do the thorium uranium that I'm wanting to do, we will basically surround that in absorbers to get even more power out of it. But it all depends on what you run in the single block reactor on how much it puts out, but I'm thinking that one's 64. Anyways, we're going to get the fuck out of here for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time.